before my return. We got some of the team members of Kang Kai here, and these guys have just come up with a brand new miner recently, and there's a lot of hype around them, and a lot of people are really digging what they got going on right now. So I want to introduce you guys. We got Yo Crypto Rock, and we got Crypto Crazy. How you guys doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Thanks for having us on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. So, I'll just open it up to you guys. Why don't you guys tell everybody what's going on with Kang Kai and, what it's all about, and then we can ask a couple questions, kind of get into it a little bit deeper.
All right, I'll go into how it came about, and then maybe if Rocco wants to touch on some specifics of the project. There's been a lot of rug pulls and a lot of failed projects, and investors are really, really starting to get annoyed, and they're getting bored in the space. We were seeing a lot of recycled money. Was, they missed the good old days. And one of the things in the good old days were good old miners. We've obviously made no bones about the fact that it is a miner, and everyone that has been in the DeFi space a while now, they know how miners work. But one thing we have that a lot of other miners that have launched the community. We've got a large community. We throughout the different groups of the different team members, 2 years in the space, and we thought it was the perfect time. The DevOps Ria actually came out with this project, which he didn't have time for himself to launch, and with the renewed interest in something different, or I should say, we feel it was the right time, and it was a really good idea. Rocco, how about you touch on some specifics of the miner?
Yeah, man. So there's a lot going on with the miner. It's a 3% daily static miner. So what does that mean for the community? There is no early and there is no late. A lot of miners are developed to reward basically, people that are new getting in.
Right.
Only the first. So with a static miner, people that get in, whether it's, today, next week, or day one, we're all equal. 1 BUSD will give you 100. So that's a really important aspect to really cover when it comes to, everything we've done has been organic, community driven. We've had so much support, from the community, and I think a lot of it had to do with the old school vibe, video game 8-bit graphics.
Yeah.
We have an amazing graphic designer on our team that set it all up for us, and so it looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I thought that too, man. As soon as I saw,
but yeah, there's a lot.
It sounds like the sound's a little bit off with this. I'm hearing a lot of echoing. I don't know if you guys are hearing it or not on my end.
A little bit of a delay.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, a little bit of a delay.
Much of an echo. But yeah, we wanted to, with the miner, anyone that's been on the website, you'll see that the graphics are a homage to the old school 90s video games, which is phenomenal. Our graphic designer, Eli, came up with the sticker pack on the Telegram, which a lot of people seem to love. They were done by him. And we've gotten a lot of comments and compliments, which actually some of them came from the community. But that's the biggest thing. The community just has rallied around the project, the idea behind it, the theme, and so far so good.
Now, let me ask you, Crypto Crazy. Part of what used to annoy me with a lot of the miners was it only worked with MetaMask. Are you guys compatible with Trust Wallet, or is that also still just through MetaMask?
No, we do have a lot of investors that are through Trust Wallet. Mind you, there have been a few, I wouldn't say issues, but with Trust Wallet, it can be a little bit temperamental. But no, it does work with Trust Wallet as well.
That's awesome. That was definitely a big issue with some of the early miners that had, kind of come out. A lot of people, didn't mess with MetaMask, and they were really just, familiar with, Trust Wallet, and that kind of took away, half of the people who could possibly get into it. So if you guys have figured out a way for Trust Wallet to be compatible, that's really cool as well. Now, something that I did notice with your community and with your project and your miner is that it seems like it's a little more interactive than just logging in every day and, doing your thing with, harvesting your rewards or, recycling them. What's some things that you guys are doing that's, a little bit more interactive with the community to kind of keep them engaged?
Well, one of the biggest things we have that people seem to love is the interactive slider that we have. As you mentioned, a lot of the miners, C word on this project, but reinvest or claim profits. What we have is an interactive slider, so you can actually choose a very specific percent. That's a certain amount, and it shows your percentage right on the DApp, which is kind of unique. And the other thing that we implemented, the money that's invested into Kang Kai goes into the blessing. The blessing, I guess, every 7 days we'll pick 3 random wallets, and between those 3 random wallets, they will each get 25% of the total pool, and the additional 25% goes back into the blessing, rolled over to the following week. And the first week that we had, which took place on last Friday, 118 BUSD each, which is a really nice bonus for anyone that's invested in the project.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. Now, this is going to be the $1 million question here, because I know you guys said that you guys have been very transparent, which is good because, obviously some miners in the past, haven't been fully transparent with people. Not only have you had to worry about rug pulls, but the whole TVL was like really the issue. And, a lot of these projects always claimed, we have a way that we're going to keep the TVL from running out. What about you guys? What are you guys doing different with the TVL to, make sure it lasts as long as it does? Because obviously this is a miner, and we all kind of know that miners don't last forever. So what are some things that you guys are kind of doing to, kind of keep that going as long as possible?
Well, one thing we did right off the bat with the slider, I know I've already mentioned that, but it's kind of an interactive thing, so that helps with the reinvest. But we also can do that the team recommends going forward that would help sustain the TVL. So that's only one part. The other thing is we just see on that actually in our Telegram chat. And if Rocco wouldn't mind going over a little bit of details on that, he's
awesome, man. So yeah, so to start back at the beginning of the question, again, we've been 100% transparent with everyone. It is a miner. It is possible for it to go to zero. We've urged the community. We have the game strategy. We have the slider. But the most important thing really to keep the TVL steady, and this is my particular strategy, I prefer to do 100% withdrawal and then reinvest the funds back in manually. And by doing that, you're not only helping grow the TVL, but you're also a cap on the project. You can only, you invest 100 BUSD, the most you can pull out is 300.
Really? Okay,
Right.
that's
Is
good.
you can't keep pulling out unlimited funds. You're capped out at 3x.
Yeah, that's good because it was getting crazy for a while with some of those early miners. I mean, some of the amount that people were making a day. I mean, it just got obscene, and everybody who was doing the math knew like, hey, this is going to run out, really, really quickly. As soon as it reaches the peak, it slows down, and then it just kind of just starts to drop off the cliff. So I like that you guys are doing it that way. I also like that you have a little bit lower of a percentage, that 3%, than some of the other, miners that would do like 8%, 6%, and that really drains the TVL very quickly. So the fact that you guys are doing it at 3%, definitely helps sustain it as long as possible, it seems.
And the other good thing about doing the 100% claim and then reinvest is you also qualify for that week's blessing as well. You do need a fresh deposit of a minimum 50 BUSD each cycle to qualify for the blessing for that week.
That's awesome.
So that in turn,
yeah, and every week 25% of that grows for the following week. So only 75% of that blessing, which is AKA the lottery, is paid out per week, and 25 stays behind kind of to fund that lottery's TVL. If you can scroll down, Mike, and show us the blessing, you can see what the total in there is. I know last time we checked, it was 300 BUSD. So if you divide that, by 25 or by 4, that's what the winnings will be.
That's nice.
So as of right now, 4, and that's what your winnings where the random wild will be picked. Yeah. Last week, the winners, as you see, walked away with, what was it? $218.
Yeah, $218.39 a piece. Yeah, 3 wallets.
It was huge.
218.
Oh, and you know what? There's something else I noticed at the bottom here that I was planning on asking you guys about. So this is 100% original contract. This isn't just a copy paste open source from Baked Beans or anyone else. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a 100% original code written by our dev. Shout out to him, Oxaria. All new original code. I think number with 3% was, a few things. One, again, sustainability, 8% and 10%, and all those, they're really just draining fast. So, we want to encourage everyone. We don't want just whales and megalodons. We want in the project. And if you're offering less than 3%, the rewards are just so small.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you guys. I want to try something real quick, guys. If you guys could just drop out of the room for a second and come back in, I want to see if we can get the sound quality better for the rest of this, because I don't want this whole thing to just be a delay, because I'm hearing like a huge delay. I don't know if you guys can hear a delay on my end or not. I'm going to hit remove. All right. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay now?
You sound good.
Yep.
Okay.
You sound good.
All right, good. You guys are sounding a little better, too. There was a little bit of a delay I was hearing for you guys. I wanted everybody to really hear what you guys were talking about. I lost train of thought there for a second. Crypto Crazy, you were telling me a little bit before we started about a belt system that you guys were using. Why don't you tell everybody, how that kind of works?
Mike, or unless Crazy did, you can answer.
Yeah, yeah, he
Wow, it's
is,
getting worse.
we started an ambassador program. We put out an application to the community. Oh, it's worse now?
It seems like it leveled out a little bit. We're going to have to just deal with it, I guess.
Okay. Of course, this is going to happen on your first live AMA.
I know. I've been doing a lot of these on. I've been doing some podcasts on.
Got to work out the bugs,
and it's been fine, but it's just sounded like a huge delay here. Yeah. So tell us about the belt system.
Okay, so the way it's going to work is the ambassadors, which we have chosen 32 or 33 of them. There's a system where they help out the project by doing tweets or posts, soft shills or memes or banners or even short videos or YouTube videos, and you earn points of that shill or of that promotion, and you earn points, and as you earn points, you achieve different belt status, and along with those belt rankings or levels, becomes different levels of the team decides to do. But it's a neat idea. Our graphic designer Eli, he's the one that came up with it. He had something similar like this in a project that he worked on before, and it was a great success. Closer together and increase awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it does. It increases awareness, it keeps people involved with it, and it gets people spreading the word about it. And, that only helps out their investment. So it's definitely in people's best interest if you do have the means, it sounds like, to, get in this ambassador program. So, yeah, I like that a lot, guys. I think what you guys are doing is, you took it a step further with the minor. You guys just didn't do a cookie cutter, copy and paste, ride it out as long as it, go, and then you just kind of go your own ways with it. You guys actually are kind of trying to figure out, how to keep people involved with it, how to get as many people in it as possible by also including Trust Wallet, and just, keeping people involved with it and encouraging them to, tell other people about it too, because that only helps out the project.
Yeah, one of the biggest things, like I started out as an investor myself, as everyone did. And one of the things that I really enjoyed is when the team is really personable. They take their community and that this ambassador program is going to do, because we have a separate Telegram group, which they are, they have one-on-one time with the team, and they feel part of the project. They feel as if they're
But yeah, that's a good idea, to have a separate group for that, just make really people, feel like they're part of the team, and, they're definitely going to put in work and, fight for, the project.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
I want to ask you guys, though, we've been all sunshine and rainbows so far, everything going great. What's some things that have come along for you guys that, really haven't gone the way that you thought it was going to go, or maybe, gave you guys a little bit of a difficulty? And how did you kind of overcome them?
Rocco, what's something that stands out to you?
So, I'm going to keep it 100% real. And like I said, we've been transparent as best as we can. One of the things that was a major flaw in the design of the minor for us as a team was that we put the marketing budget on the withdrawal. And that should be something where we should have really put the marketing budget on the invest,
right?
Structure, and we took the fees and weren't able to grow the marketing wallet early. So now we're growing the marketing wallet now as people are withdrawing, but we're the slider and we're reinvesting. So, we're in a battle right now, and we, things like that. And we've called in as many favors as we can to some on. Pretty much all the marketing and everything we've done so far has been, based on like, you know, people we know in the community that have, a social media, different things, like maybe like, like I said, our honesty, we're trying to do something a little different in the space.
Yeah.
People respect.
Yeah, I respect.
So that goes a far way.
I'll take the 100%.
Yeah, man, I respect your honesty with that, because that's a tough question, to look in the mirror and say, what did we do wrong, and, how can we fix it? Now, let me ask you guys, is that something you guys can fix without launching a V2, or is that something that you have to pretty much, edit the contract and, relaunch it to, fix that issue?
We're definitely not going to do a V2 or a relaunch. It's something that myself personally, I messed up because I was in contact with a lot of so my assumption was going to be, or was, we do have several videos that, but I miscalculated just how much the community was going to rally behind the project and not withdraw.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was going to be. It didn't turn out that way because we didn't have nowhere near complaining whatsoever. I'm glad that the investors have rallied around us, but that's something that we would definitely change in future projects, not this one.
Yeah, well, it kind of
we'll deal with it for now.
It almost forces you to have to kind of come up with some new creative ways to, make up that difference, obviously with the marketing while. And sometimes that can come up with some new ideas that you never even thought about, doing to begin with. So I think that can sometimes work in your favor, too, to, all right, we got to fix this. All right, let's come up with a new idea. And, sometimes some good things can spring out of that.
Crypto is a learning experience as a whole, even from the largest projects down lots of projects are experiments, and it made us learn and get more creative, like you said. So, and that, to be honest, even though that was a flaw on our end, it actually worked out to be. This is the first time we've mentioned it, and the community said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to rally behind you anyway." YouTubers that usually charge, and
right,
shillers that usually charge, all stepped up and said, "Hey, you know what? Don't even worry about it. We're going to everyone." Supported us. It's been amazing.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. I'm glad you guys were able to come on. I'd like to talk for a couple minutes before we wrap it up, just about like the crypto industry as a whole. It's been rough, man. It has been a rough last, few months, and it kind of seems like it's starting to kind of come out of the hole a little bit. Where do you guys see the crypto market going this year?
Me personally, I think you're right. We have definitely endured there is still some pain to come. It all depends on what the Fed decides to do. Obviously, with interest. But I think the worst is over. I think we'll have a lot of sideways. It'll be a bit of a rally, I believe, in the next couple of months. But we are going to have a few more low months, I believe. But then is when things are really going to start to amp up. And I think going into 2024, things will really.
Do you think we're kind of just in like a holding pattern right now until we really find out what's going to go, if there's going to be any regulation or anything like that? Do you think that kind of needs to happen in order for crypto to take that next, leg back up? Because, obviously we lost so much of the value of the crypto market, to get back up to, I think at one point it was almost up to like $3 trillion, and I'm pretty sure now it's under $1 trillion still currently. So you're losing, 2/3 of the market value just right there. Do you think we're going to have to get regulation in order to, get back up or surpass, where we were, before this last crash?
I don't think so. I think the reason we are because through the previous all-time highs in the next institutions really get heavy into it until that regulation comes. Some of the retail return to the space, which will get us to some healthy levels, but before we really explode, that regulation needs to come.
Yeah. What do you see regulation as being? I mean, because, realistically, I don't know how much the government can really get in as far as like the DeFi part of it, like centralized exchanges, I think that's going to be the start of regulation. I think a lot of them aren't going to make it. There are going to be some, like Binance, hopefully crypto.com. But the whole FTX thing really, put a black eye on the industry and centralized exchanges. But I just wonder with the decentralized, portion of it, how, if they can even have an impact on that and regulate that at all.
Well, I think the way they're going to regulate that side of things is they're going to dictate, or at least have it that companies or institutions or whatever can allocate into crypto, and then also, of course, the reporting. The government's got to get their piece of the pie, so they're going to want to make sure that the reporting is done correctly, and they're going to have a way to do that. They're coming up with, I think, they'll come up with their endeavors that institutions get into.
Yeah,
so
I almost feel
involved in it. If it be like brokers or
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a mess right now, but it's definitely good to see it hopefully starting to come out the other side. I'll give the last couple minutes to you guys to talk about whatever you want about your project, anything you want investors to know about it, and we can wrap it up for sure.
I'll let Rocco take it away. He's got the voice. He's the man.
Yeah, man. Just check us out. Don't miss out on Kang Kai. I'll send over, all the links, the social media, the Telegram, the Twitter, the links for the ambassador program, as well as the Medium. You can get that down in the description of the video.
Definitely.
So please check us out. Get jump over into the DeFi Snipers Collective. Get active in there. That's where you can find me most of the time. Links over the mic, and he can put them down in the description. So check us out over there. Don't miss out. Kang Kai, 3% daily, static miner. One of the hottest, coolest looking I'm not a financial advisor, and neither is anyone on this podcast.
Nope.
Do your own research, do your own due diligence, guys. That is important. Only invest where you can afford to lose. We are not loves invested in cryptocurrency for my entertainment as well as yours. So I appreciate you, Mike, for having us on. Crazy is my crazy co-host for my.
Awesome, man. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I guess I know I can speak on Rocco's behalf. Let's go Birds. Let's win that Super Bowl, and we'll have a great weekend, man.
Go Birds!
Go Birds! Thanks a lot for having us.
All right, guys, great having you. We had Kang Kai on with us today, guys. Check out in the description of this video. You're going to have all the links of what you need to go to for their Telegram, Twitter, Ambassador Program, everything you need to know about these guys. Thank you guys again for joining us, and we'll be back with another video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll be back shortly. Have a good one, guys.